Servus 40 and welcome to my new episode of my knitting podcast. My name is Helen and I'm the one behind Open Machine. If you are a new viewer, hi, I hope you enjoy this podcast. If you're a returning viewer, I am really glad to have you here again. It's the second episode, I think. Yes, I had some vlog in between. We were traveling to Venice. If you not have seen that, I will put up a link here and you can have a look. Between those knitting vlog and this episode of knitting podcast, I did some knitting. This podcast is mainly about knitting and some life stories. Yes, where to start? I have finished a few objects, two to be precise. I was knitting on the Chiemsee summer top, which is my own pattern. This I have made for my mother-in-law. It's a summer top and I knitted it with Nepal from Pasquale. I hope you can see that. It's a cotton linen blend. Yes, it's 60% cotton and 40% linen. And it's a fingering weight yarn. Pasquale is a brand from Germany, and you can purchase their yarns directly from their site, which I really like because we don't have that many local yarn stores here in the south of Bavaria. There are a few, but not really many, and they don't carry that much yarn from different brands. And there's one store that has a few yarns from Pasquale, but not Nepal. So it's nice that you can purchase it directly from their website. Yes, so I have finished the Chiemsee summer top for my mother-in-law. She wanted it to have a bit longer as I write it in the pattern, but I think maybe it should be this long for a normal size. So I will change that in the pattern. The pattern is still in testing and I hope I will get it out on the 4th of July. This will be before the Wool Festival in Kassel. Yes, the testers are really far, so I don't think that will be a problem. And I don't think that now the test is running since middle of May, end of May. So I guess the most difficult part here on the shaping on the upper part is done by almost everyone, so it's now just working and around the body and then finishing it off. Yes, so I think that this will work. This was my original sample, also with Nepal, but I don't have any skeins left because I ran out of yarn, and that's why the idea of a cropped version appeared. And I did a different hem. I don't know if you can see that. The lighting is not good. Maybe I should turn on the artificial lights. I don't know if that's better. It was sunny outside about half an hour ago, and now it's getting dark again. Maybe the sun comes up again. I don't know. So I hope you don't mind the artificial light. Yes, I had some, or how should I I didn't really knit any hem. I just bind off with the Italian bind off and knitted pure stockinette till then. And this did really work for the Nepal yarn because it's a more sturdy yarn and it doesn't roll up. But if you have a softer yarn, that's different. So I knitted a kid's version for my older daughter with Suave from Pasquale, which is their 100% cotton yarn. And this is really soft. So it did roll up, not much, but a bit. So I was thinking what to do to prevent this. And so I decided to do some kind of ribbing. I did now a ribbing which you cannot really tell. So it's 5 stitches, 5 knit stitches, and then 1 purl stitch through the back loop, and then 5 knit stitches again. So you cannot really tell, but there is a little bit of reinforcement to not roll up. You can skip this and just bind off as I did here if you have a really sturdy yarn. If you have a softer yarn, I would recommend to do this 5x1 ribbing. So yes, I have finally finished the summer top for my mother-in-law. So I can give that to her, I think tomorrow, because we will have some barbecue at their place tomorrow. That's the first finished object. And then I have another one, also a Chiemsee summer top. I still have to, when I'm finishing the top or any garments, I weave in the ends and then I let we stand up a bit of a tail. Then I block it because sometimes when you're, and it's that happened to me when I cut them directly here on the surface and I block them afterwards, it happens that it popped out on a place where I don't want to have them. So I leave it a bit longer, block it, and then cut it afterwards on the surface. So that's why I still have here some stains because I have blocked it but not cut it yet. Yes, this is a Chiemsee summer top kids version. I have written the pattern and I have started the test knitter call. The test knit will start. I will put the dates on the screen because I have not written it down. But I think from now it will be 1 week and then the test will start. So you have plenty of time to apply if you want. You can either write a comment below and mention your Ravelry account name and the size you want to knit, or you can reach me on Instagram. It's orblinger.maschen. I put it on the screen. Or you can contact me directly on Ravelry. I will put the link to the testing pool post thread down below in the description box. And then you can reach out, have further information about the test knit, and can reach out to me if you want to test knit the kids version. The sizes start with 18 months to 2 years. It's the smallest size, this here. So it's 86 to 92 centimeters is the size in Europe, and it goes up to 11 to 12 years. Yes, which will be the size 146 to 152 centimeters. And the teens actually can wear the adult size. So I started the adult size with XS. And when you look at the bust circumferences and the length of the garments, you can wear a adult size in XS after the 11 to 12 years sizes, in my opinion. So it should be a big range of sizes for this top. And yes, I did one for my older daughter for the pattern writing, and I also did no hem at all. And because this is the soft yarn, it really started up to roll up a bit, especially because she always rolls it up so it's even shorter, because she wanted to have a cropped version where you could see her belly button. And this is now for my younger daughter, Ella. She's 3 years old and very, very small. That's why she has the 18th month to 2 years size, but it will fit her as a 3-year-old because she is that small. And I decided here to do also some ribbing. You in this version you really cannot tell because it is striped, and I have this ribbing in the darker section. So I don't know if you can see that really on camera. Maybe if I move a bit. This is a 4x1 ribbing. No, 3 knit stitches, 1 purl stitch through the back loop, and this really stabilizes and helps with the rolling up with this soft yarn. So if you have a soft yarn, you should probably do that. If you have a really sturdy yarn with linen, yeah, linen is usually really sturdy, then you can skip that and just mind off, in my opinion. It's what I did. So this is for the finished objects. Test knitter call is out. I hope I will release the pattern in the end of July. Then you can get it on Ravelry, but I will tell you that when it's finished. Okay, and then I have some whips, or not some actually. I am knitting another Kimsey summer top. Yeah, it's always when you have done the first sample, you need a second one to have another color. I did it in the same yarn, so this one is also Nepal from Pasquale, but in another color. It's the color 43. It's the beige one. I think it's a little bit softer, maybe because it's not that much color in it. I don't know if it's even the undyed yarn. I don't know. Could be. Yes, but I really like, for someone it's really a good yarn. And I started filming a full tutorial for the Kimsey summer top, so it's easy for you to follow the instructions. The pattern should work on its own, but if you're just a beginner and want to be really sure about what you do and how to do it, it could help to have a look on the tutorial. And I always like to watch these tutorials, even though I understand the pattern by itself, but it's if the designer tells you what they thought about in this step and how they knit it, it's sometimes clearer to follow and do it exactly the way they did it. I mean, you don't have to do that. You can, it's always more suggestions. So with this hems, I have one test knitter, and she asked me if she could just do, I don't know how to call it in English, it's Umschlag in German. So you knit to the full length, then purl 1 row and knit up and bind off on the inside. You know what I mean, right? If she could do that, because she didn't want to have a hem and a ribbing hem, and I think she has a more soft yarn, so she needed to do something to prevent it from rolling up, but didn't want to have a ribbing. And so she asked me if she could do this folded hem. Yes, maybe that's the name, folded hem. I will look it up. And I said, yes, of course, you can do that. The pattern is about the upper part, and the way you want to bind off, do whatever you like. I want that you uses your sample and do not just knit the test knit so it's test knitted, but that you really enjoy the sample you knitted. So I think the patterns are always more like a suggestion. You can do that, but if you want to change something, please feel free to do it. I mean, it's not that easy on test knits, because you should try if it works and if the garment fits, but this has nothing to do with fitting. That's just a personal preference. I did knit folded hems, and I think they are beautiful and that they suits different kinds of garments. But I sometimes have the feeling of you've finally reached the end of your garment and then you're knitting up again. Really? It's like knitting in the wrong direction. And that's why I usually find to try something else. But with pure stockinette stitch, it's difficult, and the folded hem is a beautiful solution for that, especially if you have a softer yarn. So you can also do that. In the video, I give some tips for a better fit. So you could always try it on. I mean, this should sit here around the collarbone. It's not really up here on the shoulders, but it ends up here on the collarbone. And if you have the feeling that it's not deep enough here or not deep enough here, I give some tips how you can adjust the pattern so it still works, and you can vary the sizes, so you can so you will have a sample that really fits you. So you have here different sections for increases, and also when your row gauge does not fit, or your stitch gauge, you can adjust it in the different sections, and I give tips about that in the tutorial. So maybe it helps you to knit a sample. You still need to purchase the pattern to follow, but I think with a pattern and the tutorial, every beginner is able to knit the Chiemsee summer top. And it will be released in the beginning of July, so you can still enjoy your summer knits, your summer top this year. And yes, I think that's a good point, because we always like to wear a summer knits now and not somewhere in the future. And then I was in the middle of knitting some gauge swatches. I have ordered some yarn from Pasquale. They have a yarn that's called Arctic Pearl, and it's a lyocell yarn, and that's made from seagrass, so they call it seashell. And it is really soft. I think it almost feels like silk. And I did some swatches. So they recommend to have a 3.5 millimeter needle, which would be a US 4. And but I thought since it is a fingering yarn, maybe I should give it a try with a 3 millimeter needle. So what's a 3 millimeter needle in the US? I will write it on the screen. So I decided to do it with a 3 millimeter needle, and it really turned out pretty and soft, and you cannot look through, and I really like how it turned out. Problem is the gauge, because I got 32 stitches, which will be okay, but for the row gauge I got 46 rows in 10 centimeters or 4 inches. And I want to knit a t-shirt with this, so even though it will feel very pretty, it's a fabric I really like. I don't think I'm in the mood knitting a garment with 46 rows in 10 centimeters. So what did I do? I used a wooden needle from Knit Pro to knit this. Then I decided to knit another swatch on a 3.5 millimeter needle, how it's suggested, with a steel needle from Chiago. And I really love these steel needles. So I started with that, but after a few rows I realized they're too floppy and it's too see-through, and so I frogged the swatch. I don't keep. Nee, ich kann es ja rausschneiden. Ich muss die Tür zumachen. That was my husband complaining about no one is opening the doors for him, because I have swatched in steel needles with 3.5 millimeters and it was too loose, so I frogged it. I have bought a lot of balls, but I didn't want to lose it on a swatch I don't like, so I just frogged it. Then I tried to use a double, but also I started to knit a few rows and the feeling it was, no, I want to have a really lightweight t-shirt, and if I hold it double, that will not work. So I have a swatch I really like, but I will not knit in this gauge. And that's why I decided to knit again with a 3 millimeter needle, but with a steel one, with my Chiago, to get a looser gauge. And I did like this also, but still I had 44 rows instead of 46. And that's why I decided to give it another try on a 3.5 millimeter needle. And that's what I did here. And at the moment it looks like I will end up with 40 stitches in the row, which will be okay, I think. But on the other hand, it is looser. If I do this, I mean, the swatch is not ready yet. I'm in the middle of it. Right, with this is more see-through. I don't know if you can see this. You can see through. So I don't know. I mean, you can write it in the comments. Would you knit on a 46, 40, not 30, 40, yeah, here, 46 rows? Would you knit a garment on this row gauge? I mean, this is a really, really nice fabric. Or would you go for a looser one where you maybe can see through? Just to get a gauge that is more common. I mean, would you really? I have it here. 3.5 millimeter is a US4. Would you really knit a garment with a row gauge of 46 over 4 inches or 10 centimeters? Yes, write in the comment. I really want to know, because I'm so uncertain. I really want to use this yarn. I really want to use it on its own. I really have a vision of how the t-shirt will look in this, but really look more like this and not this. But 46 rows. I mean, here on the label it says with a 3.5 millimeter or US4, you will get 27 stitches over 40 rows in 4 inches or 10 centimeters. So they say it by themselves that you have 40 rows with a 3.5 millimeter needle, and that's what I get here. If I use the 3.5, I should be between 40 and 42 rows, and more like 30 and not 27 stitches, maybe 29 stitches. So 29 stitches over 40 rows, that will be completely fine for a garment to knit with. I have several garments knitted in this gauge. I will finish the swatch. I will block it and look how it will feel after blocking. But to be honest, when I blocked this, it didn't change much. It does not bloom. It's a lyocell fiber, so it does not bloom as wool would. So if this is see-through, it will stay see-through. On the other hand, if it's not that bad, and it's a summer knit, so it's a really lightweight t-shirt, so maybe it will not be a problem that it's a little bit see-through. It will not be a shirt you will wear in the winter. Yes, I have to think about it. If you have an opinion on that, please leave a note, a comment below. If not, it's okay. I will figure it out somehow. So I have another whip, if you can call this a whip. It's an ongoing process of finding the right gauge for this project. And I put all my Suave yarn away. Oh, did I mention? No, I did not, I think. I have also some Suave yarns, because after, so the older daughter Leah, she's 6. She wanted to have a summer top like I do, and she wanted to have it pink. So that's what I knitted first and wrote the pattern on it. And then my younger daughter was like, I want one too. And she looked for some dark purple, and then I ordered it, and she was like, no, I want to have it more colorful. I had some really light purple left from another project, so I could make her a striped version, and she really likes it. But then my older daughter was like, I want a striped version too. Okay, so I will knit another Kimsey Summer Top Kids version, striped, and I also will film a tutorial for this, so you can also make a striped version that would work for the adult version the same way as for the kids version. So you could combine those two video tutorials if you like. I have a different a variation of the construction here in the upper part, because I didn't want to start as large as for the adult size. It would be too large for the kids. So there's some variation in there. And I will film this, but I'm not sure when I have the time for this, because filming a tutorial, I cannot sit there and just knit. I have some sections I need to film, and that's where I have to wait when I have the time. I work 30 hours a week for a company as a civil engineer, construction engineer, but I'm more in the field of, it's called BIM development. You don't need to know what it is. Even in a construction field, it's not many people know what a BIM developer actually does. So yes, but I work 30 hours a week for the company. But then I have 2 little girls and a life. And I like doing knitting in my free time, and I can do it with my kids when we're on the playground, something like that. That's no problem. They don't mind. But for filming, I need a setup and lighting and time to film the sections. So also with the other Kimsey Summer Top, I film the tutorial. I always have to wait till I have the time to film this special part, and after that I can knit the next few rows till I come to the next point, and that's why I only came so far as I did the front part, and I just picked up the stitches for the back on one side, so I can knit the whole back, and I have to film again when I'm joining in the round. But that's why it's difficult to film some tutorial and to knit with it. That costs a lot of time. And yes, I wanted to finish the samples, the gauge swatches, and start with the shirt yesterday. But then I was talking to my husband, and he told me that his brother was inviting us for a barbecue tomorrow, and we were sitting there, and he throws a party because he has birthday. Yes, it's his birthday on tomorrow, and we almost missed it. And we were sitting there, and he was like, Helen, do you have any ideas for a birthday present for him? And I was like, no, not at all. I'm sorry. So I was like, I could try to knit a triangle shawl. I mean, it's not winter, but winter will come, definitely. And I went through my stash, and I don't have that many boyish colors. It's more for the girls and for me, but it's nothing I would give to my brother-in-law. So I went through the stash and I found this. I have some leftovers from a zipper pullover I knitted for my husband. I can and I did not know what to do with them. I thought of maybe knitting really thick socks for my husband because he requested some for winter, and I will do if I have some more left after the project for my brother-in-law. And I said, yes, I can knit a triangle shawl. I also have left this from my colorwork project. It's rosy green wool, the decay one. It's the color pufferfish, and I have left this, so I combined them to get this. And that's how far I came in one day of knitting for a gift for my brother-in-law. His birthday is tomorrow, so I will not wash it for blocking. I will maybe steam it. It's garter stitch, so I don't need to block it at all, to be honest. That's why I decided to do garter stitch, and it's the easiest or the fastest way to knit flat. I have some slip stitch detail in the middle, just increases here, 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 and here. And I change color after 40 rows of the dark blue. I have this really light gray for 2 rows. And yeah, at the moment it's more like it's no shawl yet. I know that. I know that this is no shawl at the moment. Don't judge me. I do my best, okay? So I don't know when I will upload this video because I really have to finish this until tomorrow, so I can gift it to him. We went to a store yesterday, and we also got some bowls because he needs some kitchen stuff, and we decided those bowls look really nice. So I hope he will enjoy them too. And if this does not work, we have something to give him, because his birthdays are always a disaster. Last year was the best year. He also invited everyone to his parents' house for some barbecue. Also some friends, which he usually never does, but last year he did. And then we were helping with the barbecue. And his father, my father-in-law, asked him why he does throw a party. I mean, he was thankful, it was fun, but why he was throwing a party? And he was like, Papa, it's my birthday. Yeah, his parents have forgotten about that. So we were kidding this week. Maybe, I mean, we knew that that's his birthday, but we just missed to get him a present. I don't know why. It was just life happening. My husband was ill last week, so yes, and then we just were like, oh no, it's this weekend. But his parents last year totally forgot. So we were kidding about maybe we should mention to their parents that it's his birthday, and that's why we have a barbecue tomorrow. So that's all the knitting I've done. I will tell you next week if I manage to finish that or not. And hopefully I could cast on my my t-shirt and the striped version for my little one. And yeah, I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, the podcast. If so, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. and hopefully I'll see you next time. Happy knitting!